An agreement on the mediation protocol to be used in the sexual abuse cases against the Archdiocese of Guam is still on the drawing board as several modifications have gone back and forth between the parties. But as PNC's Jolene Toves reports, while one group of plaintiffs is still not on board, Archbishop Anthony Aperon is now expressing interest in the mediation. Last Friday, a Vatican tribunal found him guilty of certain accusations stemming from sex abuse claims.
6 months ago, the court had ordered all parties to participate in the mediation process. That includes Archbishop Anthony Aperon. According to his attorney, Jackie Terlahi, she has received the latest version of the mediation protocol and will review it to determine her client's course of action.
So our participation in mediation has always been about cost. That one of the problems that many plaintiffs, small plaintiffs and small defendants have in a large suit like this is simply the cost factor in litigating 160 different cases.
At this point, the court has held a status hearing to deal with the potential issues in the mediation protocol, which governs how the parties will conduct themselves during the mediation. But still debatable is whether or not all parties are in agreement with the mediation protocol. While Anthony Perez's clients and Thomas Brown's client, the Sister of Mercy, are still on the fence, the Archdiocese of Agana is ready to move things forward, and that the door to mediation for Perez's clients is still open.
But that we are fully prepared to have him participate. He's indicated that we would not budge, but I can tell you that we have revised that pre-mediation protocol numerous times, including last evening with the other 3 plaintiffs groups. And Mr. Perez has not chosen to participate in those discussions, but I am willing to meet with him. I've told him that. I certainly intend to meet with him in the next 2 weeks to certainly try to work out any differences that he feels are an impediment to his participation in the mediation process.
Perez represents 11 out of the 163 cases before the courts, and in past interviews he has indicated his concern with a globalized settlement, which would leave the victims fighting over money. According to Patterson, while each of the cases will be evaluated on its own terms, their hope is to reach a global resolution.
Each of these cases is an individual case. We will be doing evaluations on each of those cases. We will be providing that to our client and to the insurance carrier for their consideration.
Whether or not all parties get on board with the mediation process will also determine how the court proceeds. At this time, District Court Chief Judge Francis Tidingo Gatewood has provided 2 options. First, that all motions be withdrawn with the exception of Archbishop Anthony Aperon's, which has already been heard. If the motions are withdrawn, the parties will be able to refile the motions if the mediation is not completed. The second option is to stay all motions until after the mediation. Meanwhile, Superior Court Judge Michael Berdalio has requested that Attorney Perez file his memorandum to lift the stay in the local level. If the stay is lifted on the local level, then deadlines would be issued in preparation for litigation, which according to Perez would be a good incentive for all parties to agree on the mediation protocol. Reporting for PNC News, I'm Jolene Toves.
Mediation, which was supposed to be held in June, has now tentatively been scheduled for mid-September.